Liverpool handed positive Alexander Isak transfer update, only see him joining. Liverpool have been linked with a move for Newcastle United forward Alexander Isak, with the Sweden international said to have asked to leave the Magpies this summer. Former Liverpool star Stan Collymore has tipped Newcastle striker Alexander Isak to make the switch to Anfield this summer, claiming discussions have been ongoing for over 12 months. The Reds have been heavily linked with a move for the Swedish striker for several weeks but appeared to cool their interest when Newcastle refused to do business earlier in the window. In response, Liverpool pivoted to Hugo Ekitike, signing the French forward in a £79 million deal. But now it appears Isak is pushing for an exit, with the 25-year-old telling Newcastle he wants to explore his options. As such, the door has been reopened, and Liverpool could be set to pounce. Isak has opted out of Newcastle's pre-season tour of Asia while his future gets sorted ahead of what could be a British transfer record departure from St James' Park. The Magpies are reportedly holding their ground, insisting on a valuation of more than £150 million if they are to consider selling him. With the expected exits of Darwin Núñez and Federico Chiesa, combined with growing interest in Luis Diaz, Liverpool are believed to still be targeting new attackers before the transfer window closes, and Isak remains their top target. Collymore, who scored 35 goals for Liverpool, is confident the move will go ahead. "I can only see Alexander Isak joining Liverpool if he does leave Newcastle, which is now expected," he wrote in his column for Caught Offside. "I think this has been something that's been ongoing probably for 12 months or more. I think the expectation from Newcastle was that it was going to be next season that other clubs were going to bid. A lot of fans will want him to be sold abroad, but it doesn't work like that. If the player says that they're going to down tools unless you let me go to this specific club, it's very, very difficult for the club." The addition of Ekitike pushes Liverpool's total summer outlay beyond £265 million, and should Isak arrive, the overall investment would likely top £400 million. Collymore explained the reasoning behind the club's aggressive spending. He continued, "With Liverpool, I know that there probably will be some room for Diaz and or Núñez to go. But still, at the moment, if they were to get Isak across the line, you've got Diaz, Gakpo, Núñez, Sulla, Wirtz, Ekitike, and potentially Isak. That's 6 top-quality front players." Eddie Howe shares Alexander Isak update after Liverpool transfer interest, not diluted. Alexander Isak has been left out of the Newcastle squad for their tour of the Far East as speculation linking him with a move to Liverpool continues. Alexander Isak will not be joining the Newcastle United squad at all for the pre-season tour of Singapore and South Korea. The striker continues to be linked with a move to Liverpool. The Sweden international was one of the standout players in the Premier League last season, and the Reds were tentatively mentioned as potential suitors for him earlier in the summer transfer window. However, reports about a potential move have ramped up in recent weeks. Even after signing Hugo Ekitike in a £79 million deal, the Reds are interested in a move for Isak, and the player himself has made it clear he would be keen on a new challenge. The news represents a potential major blow to Newcastle as they prepare for the new season. Isak missed the friendly loss to Celtic and was not included in the travelling squad for the clash in Singapore against Arsenal on Sunday. Speaking after that 3-2 loss, Howe spoke about the state of his squad after a number of transfer near misses this summer. "We're not deluded," he said. "We know we need to bring players in. We've known that. We know what we wanted. It's been a challenging window." When asked specifically about Isak and the chances of him joining the squad for the upcoming games in South Korea, the Newcastle boss responded, "No chance. Liverpool have already spent near £300 million in this window." In addition to Ekitike, the Reds have signed Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez and Georgi Mamardashvili. The club could still be on the hunt for attacking reinforcements though. Bayern Munich have provisionally agreed a £65 million deal for Luis Diaz, who looks set to leave the club after months of speculation. Liverpool are next in action on Wednesday against Yokohama FM in Tokyo. They start their Premier League season against AFC Bournemouth on August 15, before a potentially intriguing trip to Newcastle the following week. Isak rejects £600,000 Saudi offer with Liverpool waiting. Liverpool pursue Isak in bold summer push. Liverpool's summer recruitment drive shows no sign of slowing as the club explores a potential record-breaking move for Newcastle United forward Alexander Isak. The 2024-25 Premier League champions have already strengthened significantly under the guidance of new sporting director Richard Hughes, but the ambition at Anfield is undimmed. Isak, who has emerged as a priority target, has made clear his intention to remain at the top level of European football. Despite interest from Saudi Arabian clubs and a lucrative proposal worth a reported £600,000 per week, the Swedish international has set his sights on a switch to Merseyside. The club's interest, as first reported by Fabrizio Romano, has now advanced to the stage of formal dialogue, with the player understood to be keen on the move. Forward refuses contract, dismisses Saudi offer. Sources indicate Isak has rejected Newcastle's latest contract offer, choosing not to engage in renewal discussions. The forward also declined to join the club's pre-season tour of Asia, officially due to a minor thigh injury. In parallel, attempts were made via Saudi-owned intermediaries to tempt the player with a switch to Al Hilal, a club within the wider PAF football project. The offer included a significant wage increase, reportedly 5 times Isak's current salary. However, the response was unequivocal. The forward, according to Romano, has no interest in a move to the Saudi Pro League, with Liverpool firmly his preferred destination. Romano confirmed. There's nothing ongoing with Al Hilal. Isak wants Liverpool, it's his clear priority. No other Premier League club, including Chelsea, Manchester United or Arsenal, are currently involved in discussions for the Sweden international. Liverpool plot record transfer amid budget considerations. Any move for Isak would eclipse the British transfer fee Liverpool recently paid for Florian Wirtz. The Merseyside club believe the 25-year-old can add a new dimension to their attacking line, especially with questions hanging over the future of several first-team forwards. To facilitate the deal, Liverpool may need to sanction departures. Names such as Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz, Federico Chiesa, and Ben Doak have all been mentioned in relation to possible exits. Such moves could generate the necessary funds and squad space required to complete the deal. Though Newcastle are reluctant sellers, they now face the prospect of retaining a player who is determined to leave. Should the St. James Park side decide to cash in, Liverpool are expected to be ready. Liverpool star closing on move to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are in advanced talks with Liverpool to sign Luis Diaz this summer. Sky Sports report that after Liverpool rejected Bayern's first offer believed to be in the region of £58.5 million, the German champions have returned with a second offer of £65.4 million plus add-ons. The Colombian was left out of Liverpool's squad for their match against AC Milan, and it is believed final details are being discussed now over the total package. It would represent a significant profit on the £37.5 million the Reds paid FC Porto for the winger in 2022. Manchester United and Manchester City are both interested in signing Gianluigi Donnarumma from Paris Saint-Germain, according to L'Equipe. The 26-year-old's contract at the Champions League winners expires in 2026 and the Parisians are eyeing Lille goalkeeper Lucas Chevalier as his replacement. The Independent says Arsenal are hoping to seal a £60 million deal for Crystal Palace's Eberechi now Victor Gyökeres's move to the Gunners has been confirmed. A move to North London is seen as the 27-year-old's preferred option, with Mikel Arteta's side preference being to sell a player before conducting a deal for the midfielder, but it is not dependent on that. Reiss Nelson could possibly be included in any deal for ease. However, The Athletic report that Fulham are in advanced talks with Arsenal to re-sign Nelson, either on loan again with a buy option or a permanent deal. The 25-year-old spent last season on loan at the West Londoners. Everton are in advanced talks with Lyon over the signing of winger Malik Fofana, says Fabrizio Romano. An official bid has been submitted by David Moyes' side and both clubs are now reported to be in discussions. The Toffees are now in discussions with Fofana over personal terms. L'Equipe also say Everton's bid is £31 million, with the League One side wanting at least £35 million. Finally, The Guardian say West Ham are considering a move for Werder Bremen's £13m rated attacking midfielder Romano Schmid. Aston Villa and Fulham are reportedly monitoring the 25-year-old Austrian international.